All right, everyone, welcome back. It's been a little while. It's been a crazy work week, and I just wanted to put something online here on YouTube. Um, got a few watches that I got recently in, and I failed to do some unboxings of them just because it's been so busy. So I figured I'd do a updated state of the collection, especially since I've chopped a few watches. I went from about 35 down to about 10 or 12. And there's still currently a couple that are on the chopping block. So I'll show you guys yeah, let me know what you think and see where the collection has kind of evolved to over the years. It's been about 2 years now. My first, gateway watch, obviously, right here. So still got this original JDM model 009. And yeah, you can see how it's kind of developed over the years. It's a daily wearer, and I think it's aging beautifully. So unmodified, unaltered 09. Then I jumped to a couple of other Seikos, just getting into it, and then my next major Seiko was the Seiko Monster. I have it on a cheapest NATO strap, ribbed NATO right now, and it looks like it adds height, but once it's on wrist, it actually still looks pretty good, and I think this color works really well with it. It's called like a green gray. So that's really cool there. So those are my two Seikos. I did have the Hulk. I'm currently selling that one. And yeah, and then over time, you start with the Japanese watches. You start with the Casios. Wrist check here. This is the A158. I had the A168 and I sold that as well. And yeah, you just start with those smaller brands and until you figure out and refine what you're looking for, and then you go from there. So slowly from the Seikos, you move into watching videos on YouTube, and you start getting into, Swiss watches. And this was my first major, Swiss watch purchase, if you want. As I inherited my Omega from my father, kind of old 34mm dress piece, but you start getting into the modern day feels, and yeah, this here has kind of been my go-to everyday, one of my go-to everyday pieces, and it's just fabulous. It's the perfect field watch in my opinion. You guys can look up way more detailed videos about this, but rhodium plated hands, okay, SW300, regulated to +5 with -5 per day. So you're very close to SKX COSC certification, but you're not paying it from this company. Okay, so that's the Monta. Then you start playing around and you start looking around as well. Jumped into the next Monta here, which is the Oceanking. Again, probably my favorite diver in my collection. One of my favorite all-time watches, but just perfect. So all around tool watch. This is the Monta curved end fitted strap. It's just got the nice hardware here, tang and buckle. Okay, but yeah, just a beautiful watch. I've had this for 2 years as well. So both these had for 2 years. So 38mm, 41mm, super thin, 9.7 thin, and under 12, around 12 for the Oceanking. And lastly, we'll get into my latest acquisition. This here was a surprise. I've always wanted this watch. I've always loved it, but it's also being discontinued. So these two are being discontinued, or they have been discontinued, and they're extremely hard to get. This one has been done, no more production. This one, final notice was, I think, this week. They mentioned that there was none left. So it kind of sucks that I'm showing you two watches that are hard to get, but this is the kind of whole premise of this video. This state of the collection has kind of evolved into something a little strange. We'll get into it a little bit later, but as you can see, discontinued right here, both on my palm. Then I moved into the Helios. Just get these wiped. Should have had these wiped off screen before. But yeah, let me get into the Helios. This here is on a has no bounds leather strap. I would look them up. Definitely recommend them. Next to Zelos, these are probably the best leather bands on the market. Sorry, not Zelos, Deluxe. Sorry, I was thinking Singapore. So yeah, then you get into the Helios. This is my 38mm Universa hand wound mechanical SW210, super thin, vintage profiling. That's why I love this watch on a leather strap. It's been living on leather almost exclusively since I've got it. It also works really well on a whole bunch of NATOs. But again, discontinued, no longer being made. The Universa will still be made, but this apparently to Jason, this colorway has been dropped. The Bathial Blue and the Slate Gray Gloss will no longer make an appearance in the next Universa run. So yet another discontinued or hard to find watch. Which brings me up to the next watch here. Now, I've, again, always loved these, always wanted one, but to get one in this condition at a good price that I got it at is extremely rare, especially because it even has the case back sticker on it, especially because these are no longer being made. Once again, another discontinued watch. Sounds like a broken record, but again, this was the synopsis of this video. You know, I love my sword hands, and as you can see, sword hand. All the Montas obviously have the sword hand, except for their one model, the Monta Noble, and sword hands. So, again, I never had a GMT. Didn't really have a use for it too much. But I got this one here, and it's a quartz grab and go Citizen Promaster Eco Drive Nighthawk, 200-meter water resistance, comes on the bracelet. And then where I bought it from also has the like an exclusive or proprietary Citizen kind of nylon / leather strap with a nice milled clasp. But again, this watch here, it doesn't take much straps because of the lug build. It's really, they sit really close to the case, but I found that this leather strap, vintage leather strap, just looks amazing on this watch. So again, beautiful watch. I don't care for the slide rule bezel. I just like it for the dial, the hands, and the nice Citizen loom. But if I ever need to use it for the GMT function or something, at least I have it available. So this was one of the more recent pickups. And like I said, it's just in brand new immaculate condition right now. And then obviously, like I said, I grabbed this. This has the GMT as well, but this has capabilities of tracking 3 different time zones. It's just a beautiful watch. It does have some wear to it as I got it pre-owned. And you can see it's the 2019 model that has the micro adjusts. It doesn't have the flip lock style that the other Montas have. Let me show you. Okay, so you just push it down, push it in. There's ceramic ball bearings right there. That clicks back in, and it's one of the most satisfying tactile feelings on a watch that I've ever handled. Actually, just to go back, if you guys haven't watched my other videos on this, this I got in place of a Tudor Black Bay 36, and believe it or not, at the time, the 39mm Explorer. So I had my name down for an Explorer, I canceled it, I went out and got these 2 watches right here. Probably 2 watch collection that you'll ever need. And if you want to go even further, here's Lancian Air. So you got your GMT Traveler's Watch, your dive watch, and your everyday field watch. What more can someone ask for? And all from one brand. And 2 out of those 3, again, being discontinued, hard to get. Okay, so I don't like putting it down like that. Okay, and then that leads me to the next one. Now, I did an unboxing on this, and that one's actually one of my better producing videos. And again, I'm not here for the likes, the subscribes. If you guys want, that's fine. I just kind of come on here and talk about watches. Not a watch professional, not nearly close to anything like that. I just kind of have curated a collection over the last couple of years, just during COVID. And now that we're kind of getting out of it, it's kind of cool to see where this collection has evolved into. So this year I had the swordfish, the salmon. You guys have seen that. I did a video on that as well. Once this spearfish was announced, I had to chop that one to get the funds to pay for this one. Now, obviously I would have loved to have both of them to do a comparison, but it doesn't really compare. The other one was Swordfish. The best thing about the Swordfish was probably the sandwich dial and the loom. Everything else was just kind of mediocre. Yeah, it was titanium. Just had the regular basic clasp. It didn't have this nice push button clasp in there like that. It was just your basic micro brand clasp. Still good, very usable, but kind of chunky. This one here is a little bit slimmer. Just has the two push button clasp. Really nice. It didn't have the hardness coating, so the titanium scratched up so easy. It was crazy how I've been wearing this one now for 3 weeks, and there's hardly any swirl marks, and I wear it to work and everything. Hardly anything on there. Like, it still looks like the day that I got it. Like, the profile is amazing. The Swordfish was a bit chunkier, but this here is just a more refined Swordfish, the Spearfish. Nice applied indices, matching date wheel. This orange color is just crazy. And again, they only made 200 of these. So again, not to sound repetitive, but just yet another watch in my collection that can't get. So is it a problem? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it, first world problems that all these watches right now are discontinued and hard to get? Does that make them more valuable? Does that make them more, wanted or rare, collectible? It can go either way. So getting back to it, the first one, again, these are trading at a premium. I'm never going to sell this. This is the original watch that got me into all this mess. And again, hard to find, can't find them. If you do, you're paying for them. This cost me 3 years ago now, so this was the first watch. So I got this in 2019, and I paid $317, which again was already a little bit more than what some people got these for originally, which came out in 1996. So discontinued or not being made anymore. Discontinued colorway. Discontinued. Look at that color. Blue, gray, orange, blue, black. Really nice stuff. Got the gilt tones here. So I think I've put together a pretty good collection in my view. I got a couple of GMTs now. Got a couple, divers are obviously the bread and butter in my collection. But yeah, and then that leads me into my latest purchase, which is the AliExpress Pagani design fake Tona. It's fun. I like it. It works. It's got a good Japanese Seiko movement. It's been working beautifully. Everything lines up. Screw down pushers. It's really fun to operate. I've held the real Daytona. Obviously, there's a lot of differences and a lot of feels, but you just can't go wrong with something like this. I think I paid 89 bucks or 83 bucks Canadian. There's a big AliExpress sale coming up. So March 28th. You guys can take a look on there. They came out with a new Tudor style Panda Black Bay Chrono. That one looks kind of cool, but to me, honestly, this is probably the best watch on AliExpress. I know people are saying the Turtle, Steel Dive Turtle or Willard, but this is probably the best watch on AliExpress in my opinion. And I have it here on a Amazon cheap T-strap leather, but it actually is such a really nice leather watch. I paid $5 for this, and it's actually quality. It's really, really nice, and I don't know if they're still available, but you can look them up, called T-strap, and it just works perfectly on this watch. It did come on the bracelet. It has the sweaty day adjustment on there, but it's kind of been cheapy, and I haven't really enjoyed it on the bracelet. Really rattly, even though it has solid links, solid end links, and that nice milled clasp. I'm not sure where the noise is coming from, but it's really bad. So I just wear this on leather, and it looks really, really good on leather. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, where your collection has gone, where it's been, where do you see it going. And yeah, like, there's you know, collection is different in everybody's viewpoints. You know, some say I have too many divers, but you know, that's what I like. I'm starting to get into other watches. You start playing around with some other styles. But yeah, these are two of my go-tos right here, 38 millimeter. So when I feel like wearing a more thinner profile, smaller everyday kind of field watch, that's what I go for. And then when I need my high performance divers, this is where I kind of go to. So you're getting thin profile, Swiss movement, like, you know, just a more refined than the Japanese Seiko movements and all that. There's the Le Joux Pere movement in the back. Really, really nice watch. Really nice movement. The hardened stainless steel just makes the whole package come together, and nice bezel action. Just no fuss. At first I complained a bit about the movement, but it's actually really smooth. Winding it is a good feeling, and you can see how far the crown comes out. So that's the one click. Look at that. And then this is the second click. Oh, it's already on the second click. Comes out so far. But look at that threading. It says 200 meters. It could probably be even more. It's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, if you like this kind of video, if you want to see more, like, subscribe, comment down below. It kind of helps the channel, if you want to say. And I've put some of the funds, I'm not getting paid for this channel, but I'm putting funds. I have like a watch fund now, and what I do is I just kind of flip and rebuy within that watch fund, so then I'm not kind of dipping into my own savings. But I've kind of started out, and then now I just kind of, if I want to get a new watch, I just kind of axe one of these, and then just use that money towards another watch kind of thing. So I will be going down to Eaton Center tomorrow, hoping to get a swatch, moon swatch. I really, really want to get my hands on one of those. Just because I think it's such a cool idea that Omega and Swatch are coming out with something affordable that looks like a moon watch, but it's not a fake, it's not a replica, it's a quartz version with some new materials that they're playing with. And I think it's a really good way to, you know, get other people into the hobby, and for us watch nerds to have something like that to play around with and to look at and get hands on would be nice. Because I was at the mall the other day and I saw the Heslite version of the latest 3861 for $9,000. So I think I'll take the moon swatch for 320 Canadian. I just want to see what it's all about and get my hands on that. And if I get it, I'll put it on YouTube. I know it's going to be really hard to get. I got to get down there really early. But even if I don't get my hands on it, I'm looking to see if I can try one on. And maybe I'll post a picture of it or something. But we'll see how the lineup is and how crazy the Eaton Center is downtown. All right, until next time, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.